I think one of the things that I'm relearning is the power of intentionally bringing worship into your personal life.
Alrighty, hey Shannon, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I see you're outside. It's like a little bit of sunshine today. For you, my first question for you is just like, it's been about 8 weeks, maybe a little more than 8 weeks. What's like for you, like Shannon? What's changed for Shannon?
Yeah. So I would say that some of the challenges have been I'm so team oriented, like at work, professionally working here at the camp. I'm like team focused, like that's what I do. I work in teams, and unfortunately, financially we had to make the decision to lay off our year-round staff, and so it's a little me, myself, and I, and that team's not great because I miss the rest of the team, right? I don't want a me, myself, and I team. I want a better team than that, and so learning how to work in that's been really challenging. I'm really tired of staring at my screen. I've done a lot of this, so many meetings, and it used to be when I had to go to meetings, it was fine because I would go somewhere and meet somebody for a meeting, and now I do these meetings and I'm just on a screen. So that part's been a little
Yeah.
challenging, and I think there's too an element as a dad where it's just like, okay, well, we're all kind of home now, we have more time to spend with kids, and then you just don't. And so then daddy guilt starts to kick in a little bit where you're like, this is awesome. I have so much more time to spend with my son and spend with my daughter. And oh, look, all of a sudden a month and a half has gone by and I haven't really spent more time with them than I usually would. Or in some ways less. Because at least before, Evan and I would go to hockey together all the time. Well, with
Yeah.
that gone, how does that look, right?
Yeah.
So I think some of those have been kind of all the challenges as just working our way through it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. And you're not playing hockey either, so it's like that used to be your thing, right?
Well, I used to be I think too, I'm also learning how much there's identity in that a little bit, but there's also how much of that is like just good for my mental health. Like I don't hockey because I'm good at it, but I play hockey because I get to sit around with the boys after and chat and laugh and be out in the parking lot after a game, and it's just a connection point where I'm not a director, I'm a boy with a stick in my hands out just hanging out, and how good that was for me. And so I found that it's harder for me to shut my brain off.
Right. But like, where have you been seeing God work, or wished you had seen more, or understood more, or what? How would you fill in that kind of blank for you right now,
So
personally?
I heard a really good quote the other day at this webinar that I was at, where this guy said, the hardest part of this is that not only do we not know what the future holds, we don't know when we will know our future.
Mm.
And so I think there's this element in sometimes when we're going through a challenge, going through a struggle, whether that be employment or spiritual, or sometimes you can see that there's like a future outcome, or there's like an end date, or there's a thing, there's like a definition to it. And I think not having some of those definitions, or not having some of those like you can't even see a light at the end of the tunnel, let
Yeah.
alone I don't even know
Yeah.
where the tunnel is sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think in all of that, it's how in the middle of that uncertainty do I find God? Because I don't want to. Sometimes the Christianese doesn't work for me. Sometimes like the cliches don't work for me, and at the same time, it's realizing that some of those things are the promises, and how do I stand on those, and how do I do that? And so for me, I'm realizing more and more the impact that worship music has in my life.
Hmm.
Just being intentional about so the other day I was so when I work in my office, I've always got worship music on. It's just a thing. I listen to kind of everything else like away. But when I'm at work, I throw worship music on all the time. And the intentionality of that during this time has certainly been upped. And the
Hmm.
other day I was out walking the dog, and all of a sudden, Let Heaven Come by Brian and Katie Torwalt came on. And I haven't had a moment like this for a while, but I put the dog in the house and I just started walking around the camp, and I just started prophesying all those things over the camp, like let heaven come, let your angels be released. Let your and I haven't kind of had moments like that for a little while during this, and it was just powerful. So I think one of the things that I'm relearning is the power of intentionally bringing worship into your personal life, and how that can certainly impact you.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the answer. I think we should end. I don't think we should do much more, just in case you say something stupid from here on. Just you did
Yeah, give me time.
5 whole minutes without saying something offensive. I'm just like,